Elamite is an extinct language spoken by the ancient Elamites. Elamite was the primary language in present-day Iran from 2800 to 550 BC. The last written records in Elamite appear about the time of the conquest of the Persian Empire by Alexander the Great. Elamite has no demonstrable relatives and is usually considered a language isolate. The lack of established relatives is one reason that interpretation of the language is difficult. Writing system. Elamite cuneiform, adapted from Akkadian cuneiform, was used from California, 2500 to 331 BC. Elamite cuneiform was largely a syllabary of some 130 glyphs at any one time and retained only a few logograms from Akkadian, but over time, the number of logograms increased. Two earlier scripts of the area remain undeciphered but plausibly have encoded Elamite. Proto-Elamite is the oldest known writing system from Iran. It was used during a brief period of time. Clay tablets with Proto-Elamite writing have been found at different sites across Iran. It is thought to have developed from early cuneiform and consists of more than 1,000 signs. It is thought to be largely logographic. Linear Elamite is attested in a few monumental inscriptions. It is often claimed that Linear Elamite is a syllabic writing system derived from Proto-Elamite, but it cannot be proven. Linear Elamite was used for a very brief period of time during the last quarter of the 3rd millennium BC. Linguistic typology. Elamite was an agglutinative language, and Elamite grammar was characterized by a well-developed and pervasive nominal class system. Animate nouns had separate markers for first, second, and third person, a rather unusual feature. It can be said to display a kind of suffix afnem in that the nominal class markers of the head were also attached to any modifiers, including adjectives, noun adjuncts, possessor nouns, and even entire clauses. History. The history of Elamite is periodized as follows: Old Elamite, Middle Elamite, Neo-Elamite, Achaemenid Elamite. Middle Elamite is considered the classical period of Elamite, but the best attested variety is Achaemenid Elamite, which was widely used by the Achaemenid Persian state for official inscriptions as well as administrative records and displays significant Old Persian influence. Documents from the Old Elamite and early Neo-Elamite stages are rather scarce. Neo-Elamite can be regarded as a transition between Middle and Achaemenid Elamite, with respect to language structure, sound system. Because of the limitations of the language's scripts, phonology is not well understood. In terms of consonants, it had at least the stops p, t, and k, the sibilants per second, and z, the nasals per meter, and n, the liquids l and r, and a fricative h, which was lost in late Neo-Elamite. Some peculiarities of spelling have been interpreted as suggesting that there was a contrast between two series of stops, but in general, such a distinction is not consistently indicated by written Elamite. As for the vowels, Elamite had at least a, I, and u, and may also have had an e, which is, however, not generally expressed unambiguously. Roots are generally of the form CV, VC, VCV and, more rarely, CVCCV. Grammar. Elamite is agglutinative, and predominantly suffixing. Nominal morphology. The Elamite nominal system is thoroughly pervaded by a noun-class distinction which combines a gender distinction between animate and inanimate with a personal class distinction corresponding to the three persons of verbal inflection. The suffixes are as follows: animate, first person singular, k second person singular, t third person singular, r or o third person plural, p inanimate, o, me, n, t. The animate third person suffix r can serve as a nominalizing suffix and indicate nominagentis or just members of a class. The inanimate third singular me forms abstracts. Some examples are sunki k, aching, i.e., I, aching, sunki r, aching, napo or napi a god, sunki p, kings, napi p, gods, sunki me, kingdom, kingship, hallow, town, land, siren, temple, halati, mud brick. Modifiers follow their heads. In noun phrases and pronoun phrases, the suffixes referring to the head are appended to the modifier, regardless of whether the modifier is another noun or an adjective. Sometimes the suffix is preserved on the head as well. Examples: usac xk equals I, the son of X, xsac yr equals X, the son of Y, usunki k hatem tk equals I, the king of Elam, sunki hatem tp equals the kings of Elam, temti reza r equals great lord, reza and napi pir equals greatest of the gods, napi uri equals my god, higher and napi uri me equals the throne hall of my god, taki mi puhu nika me equals the life of our children, sunki puri pup equals kings, my predecessors. This system, in which the noun class suffixes function as derivational morphemes as well as agreement markers and indirectly as subordinating morphemes, is best seen in Middle Elamite. It is, to a great extent, broken down in Achaemenid Elamite, where possession and, sometimes, attributive relationships are uniformly expressed with the genitive case suffix not appended to the modifier, e.g., sac x na, son of X. The suffix na, which probably originated from the inanimate agreement suffix n followed by the nominalizing particle a, appeared already in Neo-Elamite. The personal pronouns distinguish nominative and accusative case forms. They are as follows. In general, no special possessive pronouns are needed in view of the construction with the noun class suffixes. Nevertheless, a set of separate third-person animate possessives appie is occasionally used already in Middle Elamite. Puhui, her children, his appie, their name. The relative pronouns of aka, who, and appa, what, which. Verbal morphology. The verb base can be simple or reduplicated. The pure verb base can function as a verbal noun or infinitive. The verb distinguishes three forms functioning as finite verbs, known as conjugations. Conjugation I is the only one that has special endings characteristic of finite verbs as such, as shown below. Its use is mostly associated with active voice, transitivity, neutral aspect and past tense meaning. Conjugations 2 and 3 can be regarded as periphrastic constructions with participles. They are formed by the addition of the nominal personal class suffixes to a passive perfective participle in k and to an active imperfective participle in n, respectively. Accordingly, conjugation 2 expresses a perfective aspect, hence usually past tense, and an intransitive or passive voice, whereas conjugation 3 expresses an imperfective non-past action. The Middle Elamite conjugation I is formed with the following suffixes: first singular, h second singular, t third singular, s first plural, who second plural, ht third plural, hs. Examples: color h, I prayed, hapti, you heard, hutter s, he did, color who, we prayed, hutter ht, you did, hutter hs, they did. In Achaemenid Elamite, the loss of the h phoneme reduces the transparency of the conjugation I endings and leads to the merger of the singular and plural except in the first person. In addition, the first person plural changes from who to ut. The participles can be exemplified as follows: perfective participle hutake, done, colorke, something prayed, i.e., a prayer. Imperfective participle hutter n, doing, or who will do, also serving as a non-past infinitive. The corresponding conjugation is, for the perfective, first-person singular hutake, second-person singular hutake, third person singular hutta ki, third person plural hutta kp, and for the imperfective, first person singular hutta nk, second person singular hutta nt, third person singular hutta nr, third person plural hutta np. In Achaemenid Elamite, the conjugation two endings are somewhat changed. First person singular hutta kut, second person singular hutta kt, third person singular hutta k, third person plural hutta p. There is also a periphrastic construction with an auxiliary verb ma following either conjugation 2 and 3 stems, or nomina agentis in r, or a verb based directly. In Achaemenid Elamite, only the third option exists. There is no consensus on the exact meaning of the periphrastic forms with ma, although durative, intensive or volitional interpretations have been suggested. Optative mood is expressed by the addition of the suffix ni to conjugations I and II. The imperative is identical to the second person of conjugation I in Middle Elamite. In Achaemenid Elamite, it is the third person that coincides with the imperative. The prohibitive is formed by the particle ani preceding conjugation 3. Verbal forms can be converted into the heads of subordinate clauses through the addition of the suffix a, much as in Sumerian. See yarn in Mikushs me, the temple which they did not build. Ta can be suffixed to verbs, chiefly of conjugation I, expressing possibly a meaning of anteriority. The negative particle is in. It takes nominal class suffixes that agree with the subject of attention, e.g., first person singular in ki, third person singular animate in re, third person singular inanimate in ni, in me. In Achaemenid Elamite, the inanimate form in ni has been generalized to all persons, so that concord has been lost. Syntax nominal heads are normally followed by their modifiers, although there are occasional inversions of this word order. The word order is subject-object-verb, with indirect objects preceding direct objects. Although the word order becomes more flexible in Achaemenid Elamite, there are often resumptive pronouns before the verb, often long sequences, especially in Middle Elamite. The language uses postpositions such as ma, in, and na, of, but spatial and temporal relationships are generally expressed in Middle Elamite by means of directional words, originating as nouns or verbs. These directional words either precede or follow the governed nouns, and tend to exhibit noun class agreement with whatever noun is described by the prepositional phrase. E.g., I up at are you are tartini, may you place him under me, lit. Him inferior of me place you may. In Achaemenid Elamite, postpositions become more common and partly, but not entirely, displace this type of construction. A common conjunction is ak, and, or. Achaemenid Elamite also uses a number of subordinating conjunctions such as anchor, if, when, sap, as, when, etc. Subordinate clauses usually precede the verb of the main clause. In Middle Elamite, the most common way to construct a relative clause is to attach a nominal class suffix to the clause final verb, optionally followed by the relativizing suffix a. Thus, lika mir hani sr, whose reign he loves, or optionally lika mir hani sra. The alternative construction by means of the relative pronouns aka, who, and appa, which is uncommon in Middle Elamite, but gradually becomes dominant at the expense of the nominal class suffix construction in Achaemenid Elamite. Language samples Middle Elamite. Transliteration. U-disu-ut-ru-ut-d.na-hu-un-tasark-dishal luduistin su-sinar-ak-i-iksu-un-ki-ikanzar-and su-su-un-kar-for-e-ri-en-tu-for-um-tipu-uh-rak. Hi-yar and insu sinar-ak na-pi-ri-mi-a-har and harli-ih ma-hu-ut-tak harli-kumid insu sinar-ak na-pi-ri-en-li-na-te-la-ak-ni. Transcription. Usut-truk na-hunter, sak-haludis insu-sinar-kik, sunki-kayans and susun-kar. Irientum tipu h-ak hiren insu-sinak nap-i-ru-mi-a-hand hali-h-ma. Hutta ke hali ke yumi insa sanak nap iu re and lina telekani. Translation. I, Sutruknahunta, son of Hiludasinsasinark, king of Anshanan's USA. I molded bricks and made the throne hall of my god Insasinark with them. May my work come as an offering to my god Insasinark. Achaemenid Elamite. Transliteration. Secto 1. DNA Apayasarayaradu Ramasthar Akkar4 ASMU Ruan Hypiastar Akkar4 Dekayak Huipp Istar Akkar4 Dislu MESIRRIRP Istar Akkar4 CIOT is P Istar Dislu MES Rana Akkar4 Disakshayir Isardisessanair Huat Taztarkirir Shaki IP in Nardisessana Kirir Shaki IP. In Na Piramaratharanaram transcription. Napirsarra Uramazda, Akamuru and Hypiesta, Akakikapapiesta, Akaruirairpiesta, Akasiatus Piesta Rurana, Akarixursa Sunki Hutteresta Kirasekipina Sunki, Kirasekipina Pyramataram. Translation. A great God is Ahura Mazda, who created this earth, who created that sky, who created man, who created happiness of man, who made Xerxes king, one king of many, one lord of many. Relations to other language families. Elamite is regarded by the vast majority of linguists as a language isolate, as it has no demonstrable relationship to the neighboring Semitic languages, Indo-European languages, or to Sumerian, despite having adopted the Sumerian Akkadian cuneiform script. An Alamo-Dravidian family connecting Elamite with the Dravidian languages of India was suggested by Igor M. Diakonoff, and has been later defended by David McAlpin in several articles. Vaclav Blazik proposed a relation with the Afroasiatic languages of the Near East, and George Starstein published a lexicostatistic analysis finding Elamite to be approximately equidistant from Nostratic and Semitic. But these ideas have not been picked up by mainstream historical linguists. Bibliography. Stolper, Matthew W. 2008. Elamite. In Wooded, Roger D. The Ancient Languages of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Aksum. p. 60-95. Casacan, Margaret. The Elamite Language, Documenta Asiana IV, Concilio Nazionale del Ricerca Istituto per gli Studi Mycenae Edagio Anatolici. 1998 ISBN 88-87345-015-5. Paper H. The Phonology and Morphology of Royal Achaemenid Elamite. Ann Arbor. University of Michigan Press. Potts, Daniel T. The Archaeology of Elam. Formation and Transformation of an Ancient Iranian State. Cambridge U. 1999 ISBN 0-521-56496-4 and ISBN 0-521-56358-5. Starstein, George. On the Genetic Affiliation of the Elamite Language and Mother Tongue. Volume 7, 2002, pp. 147-17. Blench, Roger. Archaeology, Language, and the African Past. Roman Altamira. ISBN 978-0-7591-0466-2. Retrieved 30 June 2013.